All right, guys. So I've got a great guy called Synth. Now, you know what, boy? I've done a few of these interviews, and it's great to get a real serious project like SkyCoin to come on board and tell us exactly what they're doing. And SkyCoin is one of those serious projects. They've been featured in different media outlets such as Forbes. You know, many great people are talking about them. It seems to me they're making the waves. And that's something that I'm quite serious in. As a revolutionist, as a futurist like myself, and my audience know that I'm quite a real guy. And when it comes to me building my own growth, well, I kid you not. You know, guys, I'm growing quite fast on LinkedIn. And that's the sort of guy I am, you know. So, you know, it's a privilege to get Synth on board to tell us all about SkyCoin. You know, they're doing some great things in the internet. I know they're the next frontier in terms of this blockchain technology. And, you know, one of the things I want to do to my audience, and, you know, all of you, out of all due respect, is to tell you about the good projects that are putting their neck on the line to tell us exactly what's going on. First things first is this is not sort of financial advice or investment advice. This is all about educating people, the guys that want to know about cryptocurrency and what is going on in this space. So do take it as sort of an educational interview. Synth, it's welcome aboard, man. It's good to get you on board. You know, it's great Florida. It looks nice and sunny. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm actually in McAfee's house.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. So that just adds a blast to it all.
Crazy. Right. So I was just a software developer. I worked on like bug fixes on Bitcoin, and I just got sucked into this bubble, like this crazy stuff 10 years ago, and I like never went back.
So you are a software developer, and you just got into it. I do follow John McAfee. I was in the Motor Blockchain Summit. I know he was there. He's a big fan of SkyCoin. And, you know, I like his realism about what he's talking about. It ticks a lot of boxes with me. Tell us a little bit about you, man. I mean, you got a great project. I know you've been featured in different media outlets. You're expanding quite worldwide. And I hope we do another one of these interviews, man, not just this one.
So SkyCoin. So my background, I did video games, hedge fund, mathematics. I've done everything, and then I got sucked in as like I was working on Bitcoin, and then I got sucked into SkyCoin, and I've been doing that for like the last 10 years. So it's the roller coaster. I was in Bitcoin since it was at a penny, basically. Before it was before Mt. Gox, actually. And
guys, you know, my audience that are watching this video, this is one special interview with Synth. He's giving us his time to tell us what's going on here. So tell us about the SkyCoin project. I know you're making it mainstream. John McAfee, some great guys involved. You know, all of you guys seem to be revolutionizing this tech. Tell us about what's going on with SkyCoin.
So each coin has a different vision of where they think it's going to go and what they want to do with blockchain. And so with SkyCoin, it's can you stop the so with SkyCoin, they're like with a like
I need some clarity.
Okay, so SkyCoin is a it's a very old project. It's as old as Bitcoin, and it has several components. So we have a new consensus algorithm where people are not being paid coins for creating blocks. And in all the other coins like Bitcoin, they're giving the miners $6 million a day of Bitcoin just for creating blocks. And we said, this is stupid. We don't need these miners anymore. So we've tried to figure out how to get rid of the miners. We have a new programming language. Bitcoin used Forth, and it didn't work as a programming language. It didn't work. Then Ethereum came along and shot up to hundreds of billions of dollars because Ethereum was the first coin that had a working programming language on blockchain. But Ethereum is not done. It's like they took it as far as they can go. And the language works, but they can't change anything now without breaking everything. All the applications would break. So they know they can't fix it because it would break everything. So we wanted to create the next generation programming language to take over from where Ethereum left off. And we wanted to create a new consensus algorithm to remove these problems with the miners. So people complain about how the mining is done in Ripple and how the mining is done in Ethereum and how the miners in Bitcoin, for instance, the mining equipment is made by Bitmain, and Bitmain's making this money on the mining equipment, and then they're using it to support Bitcoin Cash to destroy Bitcoin. So they're under the mine. So it doesn't make sense because they just care about selling mining equipment. So like, oh, we're going to create this fork, and then we're going to change the mining algorithm, so you have to buy our hardware to mine, and they're trying.
Hey, man, what's the deal with Bitcoin Cash? I know there's a war going on. What the hell's going on? I mean,
it's the same with Bitcoin. As soon as these coins have money, 500 people come in trying to take it over, and they just want to stuff their pockets. So they're all greedy. All of them are bad. It's not like this side's good, this side's bad, that side's good. They're all bad. They're all bad.
That's the good thing about SkyCoin, right? You're not mining, right? It's not a proof of stake. It's not a proof of work. You've got your own coding. You guys are doing some great things, right?
And then, so then we also have so people want to launch their apps on blockchain. So we have a programming language, our new blockchain, our new consensus algorithm, and then we have our new programming language to write your app in. And then we give you your own blockchain. So right now we had a DEX. We had the largest Ethereum developer come to us. They have 6 of the top 10 apps on Ethereum, and they're also the biggest developer on EOS. And they came to us and they said, we built this DEX. We have a working DEX. We finished it 7 months ago. And so everyone's been waiting years for this DEX. Like the DEX are coming, but no one can figure out how to build it. And I talked to this guy, he says, we built a DEX. We have a DEX. It works. We figured out all the problems. But if you put it on Ethereum, it would cost $150 in gas for every transaction on the DEX.
That's a lot of money.
It won't work. So he doesn't, and he says, we're not going to publish it because people are just going to steal what we designed already. And so they came to us and they said, can you get us our own blockchain? And we said, yeah. So what happened is all these companies who have a huge user base that are on Ethereum, they're moving to their own blockchain. So this is great for application developers, and it's great for the next generation of blockchain, but it's very bad, for instance, for Ethereum, because right now, and even EOS, because these developers are just, as soon as they get big, they're going to leave the platform and create their own blockchain.
Hey, man, I want to go back to the basics, the education, right? The community, you know, I got a big community that's following me on LinkedIn. You know, a lot of guys are checking me out what I'm doing. I want to go back to basics. Look, less than 1% of the world, you don't even know what blockchain technology is. It's still learning, man. I mean, it's still learning. Let's go back to basics. What is SkyCoin? How can we tell my audience what it is? Because these guys, you know, they don't know between what blockchain is and what crypto is.
Oh, so SkyCoin is the 3rd generation of blockchain. It's what's coming next. So the 1st generation was like Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Litecoin. Just the coin. Like I have barbecue coin. I'm trading with my friends. Right?
I had a Bitcoin as well the other day.
And then the 2nd generation is like Ethereum and EOS, which is you could start launching applications on blockchain. Right. You can issue your own tokens on a platform. And the 3rd generation, but you're still using someone else's platform. You don't control your own blockchain. In the 3rd generation, what SkyCoin's doing, we're giving every single organization and application developer their own blockchain, so a personal blockchain. And this is like the difference between when the internet started, you would have a GeoCities page, or you would have I don't know if anyone's old enough to remember that, or Tri-Cities. You'd have this company like hosting your website and putting ads on it. But you didn't have your own web server. It was too expensive. Then when the internet became mature, you could buy a web server for $5 a month, and you had a personal web server. So we're going from like mainframe computers where all the apps are shoved on one giant computer that someone else owns, to having a personal computer that you own. So SkyCoin is the next generation. We're building the technology to enable what comes after Ethereum and EOS. And
that's the next generation, right? That you guys are doing. Tell us a little bit about now the problems SkyCoin is trying to solve. You know, I want to get into fundamentals. What are you guys doing to solve this problem? And obviously you were an early Bitcoin adopter. Did Bitcoin adopt SkyCoin in some sense, which makes your project sort of born sort of thing?
So there's an infinite number of problems. I couldn't even, it'd take me an hour, but that we're trying, that
in a nutshell sort of thing. Yeah.
One of the things is I want to walk into a store and I want to be able to buy a coffee with my Bitcoin, with my coin. I don't want to wait 2 hours for a transaction. So Bitcoin is 15 minutes to an hour. Ethereum's 30 seconds. SkyCoin, we can do half a second. So I can actually, SkyCoin is one of the first coins where I can walk into a store and pay with the coin and have it clear instantly instead of having to wait like 20 minutes. So The scalability of the network is massively important. If you want, this is why Bitcoin is not used, why I cannot walk into a store and spend Bitcoin, because no one wants to sit there for an hour just waiting for the transaction to clear.
So it's half a second with SkyCoin, right?
Yeah. It'll eventually, right now it's 10 seconds, but we're getting it, we're constantly improving the network, and we're constantly improving the algorithm. So we're going to get down to 1 or 2 seconds, I think, within the next year.
All right. And so tell us a little bit about, your own coding, how you're not a proof of stake and you're not a proof of work. You've got your own sort of coding mechanism. Tell us a little bit about that and why are you trying to do that for?
So we have a new algorithm called Obelisk. And the idea is in a proof of work, you give the control of the network to whoever has the most hashing power. But if you have a lot of money, like you're Goldman Sachs, you're some rich guy, you can buy all the hashing power you need to take over Bitcoin for $50 million. Not too much money. So hashing in the beginning for Bitcoin was fine. But then when you have these people coming in with all this money, they can just buy as much hashing power as they need to take the network over.
Is that a big issue now? Like mining and electricity is starting to get on people's nerves, right? A little bit.
Remember Bitcoin Cash was at like thousands of dollars and it just crashed to $300? That's because some asshole miner forked the network and split the value of the coin. And the price just fell off a cliff. And that could happen to Bitcoin. So right now, Bitcoin is still the #1 coin, but as soon as someone comes in and buys up enough mining power to really fork the network, Bitcoin could fall off a cliff 90%. So with SkyCoin, we didn't want to have these miners. We don't want people fighting. We don't want the miners to make any money because this miner knows if he controls the network, he's going to make the money. And this guy wants the money. So we stopped giving the miners money. We don't have miners in SkyCoin.
I saw in the paper sort of thing. Your website, you don't mine any coins. It's all basically off the coding that you're doing. So why is that? Like, are you trying to save electricity? Because I know it's getting on a lot of people's nerves as well.
We don't. So Bitcoin, it's like these guys are gonna put some transactions in a block, and we pay them $5 million a day. And I said that's bullshit because I can do the same thing with the computer for 10 cents a day. So why am I going to give these guys 10 million? Because that money hurts the price of every Bitcoin holder. And Ethereum just went to proof of stake. And what that means is if you have Ethereum, they give you more Ethereum. But that drives the price down. If the miners are taking the money they're getting and dumping it, it drives the price down. And so we said, we don't want that. We don't want these people fighting over the transaction fees. We don't want them fighting, trying to fork the network. We wanted to design a consensus algorithm where the miners could not make money trying to screw each other over. Because it was just, we saw it tearing Bitcoin Cash apart, people forking Ethereum to do Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, and and we said we don't want that. We wanted a stable store of value that didn't have all of these miners like trying to kill each other to make money. And it was.
It looks like electricity and the war is affecting a lot of people, and it seems to me we need to sort of sway away from that and make it a store of value rather than forking every coin for their own gain sort of thing. Yeah. So what's your views on Bitcoin? Is it going to stay #1, or do you think this is going to go down?
So Bitcoin is going to be the #1 coin for a while, but and Bitcoin is going to go up a lot. So right now the whole market's dying. Everyone's selling off their coins. They're panicking.
Yeah, man, everyone's suffering.
Yeah, people are committing suicide. I have people in the channel on Telegram committing suicide. I'm like, well, don't kill yourself, man.
that's deep, dude. That's too deep. That's too deep. But you think SkyCoin's gonna get up there in the market? Do you think for people like me who's investing, I mean, like, let's go into we've learned the fundamentals, but how's SkyCoin gonna perform now, sort of thing?
So for Bitcoin will be #1, but Bitcoin eventually will only be 20% of the market. So Bitcoin might be $500 million, but that's only going to be 20% of the market. Then we're going to have a bunch of other coins that are sort of taking up the rest of maybe 5 or 10 really big coins. Then we'll have a bunch of
Bitcoin Cash. Do you think Bitcoin Cash is going to be? No.
Bitcoin Cash is a train wreck. You just saw it fall. They had one forking incident between 2 guys fighting, and the price just fell 90%. It just off a cliff. And one day, people had billions of dollars of Bitcoin Cash that was just wiped out because 2 guys were fighting the control.
What about Bitcoin SV? Not a big fan. So it's SkyCoin. Where are we going to go with that in terms of what is SkyCoin and how we're going to?
So SkyCoin, well, we're building like a really solid coin, and we don't only have like Bitcoin has a few things, but what SkyCoin is really trying to do is fix all of the remaining problems with Bitcoin that stopped it from becoming mainstream, something that you can buy use in a coffee shop or something, or that you can use for online payments. And that's stuff like the scalability and the technicals and the security. We have other projects too. Like we have a mobile wallet. Like we have an official iOS mobile wallet. We have an Android wallet. We have our own hardware wallet that will support over 200 coins. And our hardware wallet's $10. So we can go, and if you want, we can give out 100 million hardware wallets, because a lot of people right now are using Windows, and every single person that I talked to had coins hacked. I was talking to McAfee's bodyguard. He's like, I had this many Ethereum stolen. This guy's like, I had this stolen. I had this stolen. I had this stolen. And McAfee's like, I had this stolen. I haven't met one person who hasn't had almost all their coins stolen at some point.
What, from exchanges or?
Just on their computer. You put the coin in the wallet, you click some link by accident, it hijacks your computer, and your coins are gone.
Data security is important, guys, you know, and I think to my audience, you know, if you haven't got a Nano Ledger S, I mean, do get one. I mean, it's one of those things that it's going to be a big issue, and that's a little problem, you know. So SkyCoin, you got a good evaluation on this coin, right? So
we're building a hardware wallet. So every user, $10, we're going to eventually get down to $10, maybe $8. And you're going to be able to store the coins securely without them being stolen, which is amazing. You can't do that with Bitcoin now, and you can't do that with, and then on top of that, so one of the reasons SkyCoin has been growing. We grew our community on Telegram grew 10% last month. And every other community is falling off a cliff. They're just losing users. People are leaving the altcoin space, and we're still growing. And one of the things we're doing too to bring in a lot of users is we have these blockchain applications like poker and video games and file sharing and messaging. And we're starting this year to start building out these applications to bring in a lot of users and to build up the community. So at SkyCoin, I looked at all the coin communities, and it's the best coin community. We're the fastest growing community. We're the largest. The people are not like when Moon, when Lambo, you know, the people are there for the long term. They're not all the other communities. They're there when the coin price is going up, when they think it's going to pump. And then as soon as it starts going down, the whole community disappears overnight. And so the SkyCoin community is really solid. They've been there for it's like 6 years, 8 years. And every year they're still there, and it's just been chugging along. So I think SkyCoin is one of the stable coins in that in this very unstable market where you have like Coin is $8 billion, and the next day it's gone. You know, it's just gone. And no one, you know, so we've been around for a very long time, and we're not going anywhere.
So yeah, man, we know which projects are going to do well, and we know which projects are not going to do so well. And you know, ICOs are having a hard time right now, and everything else with what's going on with regulation. So it's good to hear some positivity from SkyCoin, and obviously telling our community, especially like me, who's got a big community, to hear this sort of news. You know, it's really important for the community. We're all one at the end of the day. I want to know now. Go on.
We did an ICO. We were at 1 penny, and then we went to in 2 years. We went to $50 peak, which was our all-time high. 5,000x in 2 years. Wow. Then the whole market crashed, which is where we are now, and we're back to like $1. But we're still.
Where do you evaluate SkyCoin in 2 years, if you don't mind?
We're going to go back to the all-time high that we were at before once Bitcoin starts moving. So when Bitcoin's going down, all these people leave. Right. And when Bitcoin starts going up, they all rush back into the market. So this is what happened to us. When Bitcoin was going up to 20K, SkyCoin went from $1 to $50. And what I know from talking to the insiders about the market, the number of people that are in Bitcoin now is 10 times the number that were in the market the last run up, the last time we had this little bubble. So the next bubble is going to be...
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge, unimaginable. And I have no doubt we're going to... Because back then we didn't have the hardware. We have the hardware. We have the programming language. We have the marketing team. We have the influencers. We have the community. Our community was only like 800 people back then. And now we have like 15 channels with over 1,000 people. And we have over 10,000 people in the main channel. So our community set... SkyCoin actually right now has almost has more nodes than Bitcoin. We have 9,000 nodes online, and I think Bitcoin's like 8,500. So this year I think we already passed Bitcoin in terms of the number of nodes, and we haven't stopped growing yet.
Right.
So when the next bubble comes, it's going to be massive. I can't even imagine. I was just going crazy when. Imagine you're running this company, and then suddenly the price goes from $1 to $50, and the user community is doubling like every month. there was a point when I was getting 300 messages like an hour. It was just like every 5 messages a second. It was just like boom, 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 boom.
And that's what makes a community grow, I reckon, is getting those messages, getting a bit of like realism, a bit of security. Guys, this is not investment advice. I just want to dig in and find out what SkyCoin is doing. It's always good to hear about prices because it's about time projects, you know, tell us, you know, where they're going and what's going on. So it's a very important question and we all need to know that, but it's not investment advice. It's just an educational outlook. Now, talking about your community, Synth, what's going on with it? I mean, how strong are you? You know, we get all these interviews, but they don't tell us about the community. We don't talk about this and that. We need to know what's going on. 2019 is a game changer. I do believe we're going to get to all-time highs by the end of the year, if not 2020. Tim Draper said 2022, Bitcoin will hit $250,000. If that's the case, I'll end up in Liechtenstein. But the point, but the point I'm trying to make is what is going on with the community and how strong are you now?
So we're still growing at 10. We had 9,000 users in the main chat room, and we went up another 1,000 or 1,200 users, about 10% in a month. So we're still growing even in the downturn. So it's just crazy. So what happened was we didn't do a lot of marketing. We were just developing the tech, and then we had all these influencers come on and and all the interviews and four Forbes articles and all the attention comes at once. So you have this coin, you don't hear about it all, and then bam, it's in your face.
And it's great you were on Forbes, right? You were on Forbes as well, right? You got a lot of outlook there.
We're getting I think we're getting a feature. We have actually 4 different people from Forbes trying to interview us at the same time. So it's just like and then McAfee, and we had all these people coming on, and the biggest names, and they're sort of starting to pick us up now. And I remember something. It just explodes though, because you realize that like no one's heard of this coin, like 1,000 people, and then suddenly 10 million people are all trying to come in at the same time and buy it, and it's just like a
I saw the community on Telegram. It's big. You got 10,000 members. That's gonna grow. So tell us a little bit about the breakdown of the project now. Where are you going in the next 6 months? I want to look at the future, not look at the present. So what is it that you guys are doing? We need more insight into these projects like SkyCoin. Where are you guys going now?
So we're launching what's called Skywire. We're launching a mainnet, I think, around January. We just finished our programming language, and we're really building up our platform, and we're bringing in these gaming companies to do like poker and all the gambling apps that really made Bitcoin popular, like the Bitcoin poker, and we think that's really important for the platform. So we're doing 2 mainnet launches. We have the SkyCoin consensus mainnet, then we have Skywire, and Skywire is our biggest app. I think it's the app that most people are excited about. So we did a test net, and now we're launching the mainnet. And the Skywire is really, really interesting. So you put these antennas on your roof, like a mesh network, and you connect to the neighbors, and you're getting paid basically money for forwarding these packets. So it's similar to Tor, but the people are getting paid to run it. And we already have 9,000 nodes online right now for that application. Wow. So it's
pretty big.
It's and it's just in the test net. That's not even the main net. So and that one has been growing massively. And
you guys are revolutionizing cloud computing as well, right? And the internet. Yeah. What's this? I mean, Elastos are doing it. Tron are doing it. I know these guys as well. I know what they're up to. How are you gonna compete against those guys who are also doing it? Okay. And you guys are really revolutionizing this space.
We don't actually have any competitors, because everything that another coin does, like Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, all these things, we do it better. We have there's a messenger coin. Well, we have a messenger app, right? Right. They're doing sort of mesh network.
But in terms of decentralizing the web, you're going to be doing that, right?
We have a VPN app, which is really popular, and where people are getting coins for forwarding the packets. So there's a lot of people in like Vietnam and China and like the US using. We have a Sky Miner. We have hardware that you can put in your house and forward traffic and get coins. It's like a miner and a Sky Miner. And I don't know how many thousand of those we sold. There's a lot of them though. There's this map, and they're just everywhere on Earth now. And so we have this huge VPN network set up, and a lot of people are using it. So we built a lot of apps. So you have EOS, and yeah, you can launch your blockchain app, but we can do that too. We can give you your own blockchain, so you don't have to pay anyone else fees. So you're not paying $5 in gas every time you do a transaction. So we're taking a lot of those developers who started building on EOS and Ethereum, and they're moving to our platform. And we're taking not the small companies. We're taking the companies that have huge users that are paying massive fees in gas that don't want to pay gas fees anymore. And then so you have the what is it, Golem Network and the ELOS or whatever. We do that too. Yeah. We're doing a thing so you can rent out these SkyMiner nodes for coins, and also the file coin. Like, there's no reason that in a year we're not going to have some type of file application where you're going to get paid coins for the file share. So each of these coins that they built, it was one specific application. It just does file coin. It just does messaging. It just does cloud computing. It just does scripting. We were able to do everything in one platform. And so
that's the benefit about SkyCoin, right? You can do everything under one platform. You can do your VPN. You can do cloud. You know, you can do the internet as well. I think there's
payments.
Yeah, and payments as well. And you also reward people. Yeah, and you reward people right through the SkyCoin token, right? That's one way to keep us happy, sort of thing. So now yeah, go on.
So the whole idea is, instead of investing in one coin and hoping this one's going to succeed or this one's going to succeed or this one, because you don't know. You do an ICO, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. The whole idea is with SkyCoin, we're able to launch 50 different apps, and only one or two of those apps has to take off for the whole platform to succeed.
True.
So when you're not just investing in like, oh, I hope Messenger Coin did well. So every app on the platform reinforces every other app and makes the user community larger and stronger.
I like the utility of SkyCoin. I think you're doing a great thing tackling a number of problems and not just one. And a lot of ICOs that are just doing one, they're going to fall beneath the waistline, it seems.
Yeah.
So my final question is, what is the roadmap looking like now for you guys? We're entering a new year, a new paradigm. 2018, man, was a serious bear market, and everyone felt the pinch. What's going on in 2019, and where's SkyCoin going?
I'm enjoying the bear market, because during the bull market it was crazy. So now we're just sitting back and we're developing. We're getting the hardware wallet. We're getting the antennas. We're getting all of our products, our mobile app done. What in the bear market or the bull market, when everything was crazy
and making money.
Yeah, we couldn't sit down and finish the mobile app. So we just launched our iOS app, our Android app. We're launching our hardware wallet. We're launching our video games, our scripting language, and we're getting ready for the next bull run. Because we know when the bull run starts, there's not going to be enough time to really do a big project. Everything has to be ready before the bull run. We can hire developers to do bug fixes and improve it, but the core tech and the products have to be ready before the bull run, because once it starts, it's going to go up so quick that you're not going to have time to do anything.
I know institutions are ready to getting in. They're ready to soak up the towel, and they're ready to get in. So I know what's going on with that. So you guys are developing the tech while everything's quiet right now. Is that what you guys are doing? Yeah.
We're getting ready with the influencers and the big guys and the marketing and the media, so that when the bull market comes, like, oh, we'll be able to do Wired and Forbes, and we'll be able to sort of dominate the media space, because we didn't do that in the last bull. There was some mistakes that we made previously. Like we were the bull run caught us when Bitcoin went up to 20K. That caught us completely off guard. Our team wasn't big enough. We weren't. We were still training people. But now everyone's veteran. Everyone's trained. We already went through 2 market cycles. Everyone's ready to go, and we're just building up the resources we need so that we can just go into the top 10 in the next.
What's your team like? What's the team like in terms of the guys in the team? My community, obviously, like I say, a lot of people don't know what cryptocurrency is. We need a strong team in these projects. What's your team like? What's going on with those guys who are on board?
We have, it's huge actually. I think we have over 150 people, and there's probably at least 300 people like part-time, full-time. And we have like a different marketing team for the US, marketing team for China, Now we're building up an Asian marketing team, like South Korea, Japan. We're building up an individual team just dealing with each country. And then we have a business development office for handling like ICOs and like OTC deals. And then we're building our own, market maker so that we, and things like that, to sort of smooth out volatility.
Yeah.
Because
is SkyCoin worldwide? Are they worldwide?
Yeah, we have 15 offices. So we have like an office in London, and we have like a bunch of people in LA, and we have a marketing office in China, which is for the Asia. We have a manufacturing operation in China, and we have hardware prototyping office. So we have 3 offices in Shanghai, just in Shanghai. One of them for marketing, business development, administrative, and
hey,
and
man,
hardware
if you need someone in London, then I'm your man, because I'm getting...
No, we have a Danish. Our business development office is actually in London. So
we'll have to talk or something at some stage. So that's good to hear. So positive news. And what's it looking like in terms of the development? How far are you in these projects? What's going on with the scalability? You know, guys are now investing in projects, not on hype. So what is going on with that? And have you got a use case in place where the coin has real utility?
Yeah, so the Skywire is the most interesting thing, because we've had companies come to us and they're spending $300,000 a month on bandwidth, and they want
a lot of money.
Just one company, small company even, and they're going to rent that from us. So they're using this thing called Cisco MPLS, which is a networking protocol used by these really large companies, and they're looking. It's expensive. Cisco charges a lot of money for it. So if they can use an open source software like SkyCoin to replace the Cisco hardware, then and so we're going to do we might be the actual first coin that has revenue coming in from corporations. It's a lot of money.
Are they big partnerships, or are they like, I just want to dig in, or are they sort of
tiny? It's like a company that, you have a company, you have a few thousand servers, and you're just moving bandwidth between like your New York office and your Tokyo office, and they have to pay someone for that bandwidth. Or we had telecom provide. These aren't partners. These are actually people using our technology just for their business, for their operations. We have a lot of very interesting wireless technology. So so you have a cell phone provider. They don't want to own the equipment. They don't want to rent the rooftops. It costs too much money. They want to get it from another company, and they only want to pay what they're using. Right. So this company is the cell phone provider, the carrier, and they buy the bandwidth from this company, and that company rents the capacity from another company that owns the premise and equipment. And so we're sitting back here, and no one would even know they're using our network. And then this guy's renting it from us because he doesn't want to deal with the equipment and the rentals. And then the cell phone provider is buying the bandwidth from us, and they don't even know it. So I wouldn't even call it a partnership, because these companies, it's so far in the back. But that's where all the money is.
That's the money is. But you got partnerships in place, right, in terms of the business? Yeah.
We also have there's a huge publicly traded utility company, and they want us to do blockchain power meters and things like that. And this company has 700 lawyers in their legal compliance department, publicly traded company. And they're doing blockchain pilots, and we're sort of developing those relationships. But for the really big companies, it could take 3 years before it gets announced, because there's all this crap and paperwork and testing, and they have to do regulatory compliance. And a lot of companies say we want to do something in blockchain, but they're waiting to see which platform is the platform that's going to let them do the thing they want to do. So we have a lot of those relationships, but we're not a pump and dump coin. So we have a partnership. It's not I think Verge is we have a partnership with McDonald's, and he means oh, yeah, I bought a hamburger at McDonald's, or something like that. Or these coins say, yeah, we have a partnership with Microsoft, and they bought a copy of Windows or some shit.
Yeah.
And we don't
shit out there as well, so much pump and dumpers, and people just ruining the market for everyone.
So we never did that. We just were very quiet. And when we say we're doing a partnership, it actually means we have a program, and we're installing hardware, and these people are using our technology for their business.
That's the most important thing for my community, guys. So there we have it. We got a real interview with Synth, telling us about SkyCoin. Great to hear his views and tell us all about it. Just a final question. Just want to get off my chest. we see SkyCoin on Coin Market Cap now. I think you're probably, I don't know, sort of the second bottom half of the table, and you're kind of growing. You know, you did reach a $50 per coin. This is not investment advice, but where are you seeing SkyCoin on the top half of the table in 2019? Just to tell my community and the guys that want to know, are we going to see an incline in the project?
We're going to pass the all-time high. I have no idea where it's going to land, but it's so ICO is a penny. We went to $50, which was 5,000x in the last run up. Now we're still above the ICO price by 100x.
Right.
So we're 150x. A lot of the other coins are below their ICO by 150x. They're 150x below their ICO price. We're still 100x above the ICO price. So we're doing good. And during the next run up, I think we'll be 5,000x. So I think I think when Bitcoin goes up, I think it's going to be. I actually know.
Would SkyCoin go up in the table? Will they go up the table if Bitcoin goes off? Or, I mean, we got to see where you guys are in the table. It's all about the table, right? So do you see a top 15, top 20, or
top 10? Yeah, SkyCoin, based on where the technology is, it really should be in the top 10 right now. A lot of people are asking us, like, why is it like this is crazy? Like, because we have more technology and more software development and more hardware than than any 4 of the top 10 coins combined. So a lot of people are just shocked really at where we are in
the bear market sort of thing. All right, guys. So you see a top 10 definitely, hopefully.
And I talked to people, a lot of insiders, and what I like secret information. What I found out was in the next run up, in the last run up, all the money went to 1,000 small different ICOs, most of which were failed. In the next run up, when Bitcoin starts moving up, all the money is going to go into 5 or 10 higher quality coins. It's not going to go into 5,000 ICOs. It's going to go into a very small number of coins that are just going to pop, and everything else is going to go down. And people are going to dump these shit coins for the best coins, because people are looking for technology. They're looking for platforms. They're looking for hardware. They're looking for coins that have a use case. And so we're past the ICO market. I don't think that's going to happen again. Guys, I think all the money is going to go into this 10 coins, and they're going to shoot through like $100 billion market caps.
So you're saying the good projects are gonna survive, right? The good ones and the shit ones are gonna kind of go down, right? Sort of thing.
Because the institutional investors, the pension funds, the guys who own
backed, all those guys.
There was a secret meeting in Zurich recently, like 2 days ago, and all these people own oil wells, and they own gold mines, and they own shipping companies, and they own palm oil plantations, and they own rare earth metal companies and metal recycling. These guys are billionaires. They're just it's like a billionaires go. They have their meeting, sit around the table, and they're like, okay, 99 of these coins are shit. Which coins have developers? Which coins have a blockchain?
They want to know which ones are good ones, right? They don't want to know the shit ones.
And they make a list. And on their list, they only had 6 coins. So you have 40 guys with billions of dollars each say, I think I'm going to put I think I want to put a bill on that one. I want to get in on this action, right? So they're waiting at the bottom, right? And when the Bitcoin hit the bottom, they were fucking popping champagne. This guy was telling me, they were just fucking partying because they wanted to get into Bitcoin, but they didn't want to get in at the peak. They want to get in at the bottom, and they grabbed up so many Bitcoin at 3,300.
Yeah.
The next day they're up 30%. And they were just freaking partying.
People can make something out of it. Just want to apologize. I don't usually swear that much to my audience. Don't kill me for this, guys. I love you all, and I'm just enthusiastic about when I do these interviews with great people like Synth, and hopefully we can do a follow up and follow it up with another interview in a few weeks' time. Synth, it's a privilege to hear your thoughts. Christmas is around the corner. We've had a really terrible sort of bear market. My last question is, where is this bear market going to end? Have we seen a bottom? And people are saying $3,500. People are saying $2,500. I think we've already hit a bottom. I don't think be fooled in terms of what other people are saying, because I think we've hit a couple of bottoms this week and last week, and I do see it sort of bottoming out and going up from here. What's your views?
They're gonna.
Yep.
are going to keep taking the price down until the public and the scared people have dumped all their coins. And once there's no more coins that the public is ready to dump, then they're going to run it up. And that's what they do. So how long that takes, they could wait till Christmas. If they could
but
even...
it's already happened, right? The bottom is already... I kind of feel the bottom's in.
They might, you know, I think there's still a month left. I think, and they might even make the price, let it recover a bit, then keep it going down until May.
Sideways, yeah.
But when they bring it up, Bitcoin is going to be over 20,000.
Wow.
After the, because this is what they do. They I've been in these
what,
meetings.
by Christmas? Or do you think?
I think it might be. It could be between Christmas and New Year's, or it could be like in March or May. Yeah. They have there's some options on what the people in the market, but here's what they say: shake the loose fruit from the tree. So these people have Bitcoin and they're trying to shake them out. They're shaking the Bitcoin out of the tree and grabbing with the
getting rid of the weekends, right?
Yeah, getting rid of the weekends. And then, so it's really stressful to have to sit there and hold Bitcoin and say, I could lose everything. I have millions of dollars. Why don't I just get out now?
The average guy on the street is feeling the pain, right? They've seen it gone down. But you're saying, go on.
But those guys in Zero, they don't care. They love this shit. They're like, how can we get these coins as cheap as we can? Because what they know is that only 1% of the public owns Bitcoin right now. Only 1% of the population. Few million people at most. And they know that's going to be, in a few years, 30% of people are going to have Bitcoin. They know that the price over the next few years is going to go up at least 20 to 30x. They know that. So if they can buy a Bitcoin in a fire sale, they're partying. But the guy on the street with the Bitcoin, seeing his investment go down the drain, he's just like, I got to get out now before I lose my house, you know? So,
Christmas has come early for some guys, especially when it's cheap, sort of thing. So Merry Christmas. Guys, this is entertainment purposes. Like I say, this is not investment advice or financial advice. This is just purely an educational interview to test what's going on with SkyCoin from now to beyond 2019. We've heard what these guys are doing. They're pretty serious. You know, I want to share this to my audience, and it's a privilege to get you on board, Synth, and take your time to tell us about this interview. Thanks very much, Synth.
Oh, great.
Bitcoin to 20,000, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take care.